Childhood heroes. People you looked up to as a kid. People that changed your life. Maybe they motivated you to be kinder. Maybe they motivated you to be stronger, smarter, or maybe to finally start up that drug empire. Blue Crystal, let's go! So in this video, I'll be going over my childhood heroes. And really, the best characters ever. Because they made me who I am. And I'm amazing. First, I'm starting off with the Dark Knight himself, Batman. I love Batman growing up. I think we all did. From his origin story to his costume, at least the newer ones, to his dark vibe, and to even his sense of justice. He refuses to kill anybody, I respect it. But let him catch you sneaking food in the movie theater, it's over. Another thing I like about him is how smart he is. Like if I was Batman, the Riddler would have been one, because I'm not solving a single riddle. Like, look at this one. The less of them you have, the more one is worth. That can literally be anything. A dog, a dollar, a donut. That's literally how supply and demand works. But Batman, he figures it out like it's nothing. World's greatest detective. You can show Batman a picture of a missing person. He'll smell her or something and just be like, I know who has her. That's another thing about Batman. He probably has the most strange set of villains possible. Like the Joker, he's literally a terrorist clown who Batman's too scared to kill. Like at least paralyze the dude or something. The Riddler, who's just a guy who plays League and scrolls on Reddit all day, so pretty much a loser. The Penguin, he's just obese. I really don't know what he does. And then Catwoman, she's not even a villain. That's just his toxic ex. I think what people like the most about Batman though is that he's human. He has no powers. He can't fly. He can't run fast, which makes us feel that Batman could be any of us, which is really nice on paper, but that is definitely not true. Batman will not slide in the real world. Someone gonna pull out a gun on you and no amount of Detroit urban survival training will save you. Plus, people forget that Batman has the coolest power of all. He's rich. He can buy anything, go anywhere, eat any kind of food he wants. Really, if he misses his parents that much, he can really just get replacements or something. And that's what cements Batman at number 2 for me. Really, his money. I could be Superman and be invincible, but I'll be broke. And I gotta put it out there, Batman is definitely the best no power having superhero out here. I would say Iron Man, but he's dead. Next, I got Mr. Mosby from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. This man really shaped my whole personality without even me knowing. The most competent person in the room and always stressed. And not to mention, he's the funniest person in the show. And I mean, y'all know me. Why didn't the skeleton go to the party? Because it had nobody to go with. Did y'all know he murdered somebody? Next, I have Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! Just revolutionary. Yugi was a big part of my childhood, specifically the Pharaoh, because regular Yugi's a bitch. He made playing a card game look like the coolest thing ever. I mean, you would still get made fun of for it, but you felt cool. There's a reason people play this game to this day. Like, them duels used to be dramatic as hell. Yugi would take some damage, he'll go flying through walls, start internally bleeding, collapse. Have y'all seen those TikTok lives where people be playing? Intense as hell. Imagine if Uno was this serious. You get hit with a +4, you might just explode. But Yugi would probably never lose at that either. He's just hermity. He walks so that Jaden, Yusei, Yuma, and all these other pride flag hair having dudes could run. I mean, he had Dark Magician Girl, and those alone could make him top 10. But what really cements him for me is the drip. His drip was immaculate. So immaculate that when I was little, true story by the way, I remember I tried to convince my mom to let me spray paint parts of my hair purple and blonde so I could look like Yugi. It was a terrible idea looking back. I had a bowl cut, but that's to show you the love I had for him. Definitely top 10 anime protagonists. And since we're on the topic of anime protagonists, I gotta talk about another one of the greats, Wubbzy. First of all, intro slap. He lives in the house, he likes to play. When I was 6, I used to invite my neighbor over all the time to watch it together. And not my neighbor like my N-word, but like, this show was amazing. The supporting cast of Walter and Widget was perfect. And I just noticed all their names start with a W, so that tells you enough. Walter was definitely my least favorite of the trio though. Like, what did he really provide? He's just a nerd. I mean, I've been calling him Walter the whole time and that's not even his name. His name is actually Walder. No, wait, it's Walden, sorry. Widget was definitely more helpful than Walden. Even though her machines would mess up like 99% of the time, it's all good because they had 3,000 at the end of their name. Then my boy Wubbzy, coolest dude in the show. All he wanted to do was play, which is so real. And it's not like he was irresponsible. He's independent. He's like 7 years old living on his own. How does he pay bills? And then we got Ben 10, hands down the best Cartoon Network show ever, not counting the reboot. Super simple too. Kid gets alien watch, kid kills aliens with alien watch. And if y'all didn't know, Ben 10 has an Attack on Titan level time loop, so maybe not that simple. Like, he's the reason he got the Omnitrix. Look. And the Omnitrix itself is one of the coolest items in television history. Diamond Head was my favorite, but me, I'd probably chill as Alien X all the time, because who's beating me? Definitely the best part about this show was the intro. Got that thing on my playlist. And the coolest character is Ben 10,000, who is technically still Ben, just from the future, so shut up. But finally, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to discuss the best hero ever. A character who influenced me to the max. Like, he really is me. Someone we all pretend to be as a kid. Someone whose movies changed everything for us. And whose movies still make massive waves to this day. But before I reveal who that is, honorable mentions. Tony the Tiger from the Frosted Flakes commercials. I just always aspired to be a 6'3" handkerchief wearing tiger when I grew up. I don't know what to tell you. There's also Brian Scalabrine, the White Mamba. I'm not Caucasian and I'm not that good at basketball, but very inspirational. The farmer from Dragon Ball Z. Hey, he had the first appearance and that stayed in my heart forever. Spider-Man. I can't explain to you how much I love Spider-Man. I mean, y'all see the profile picture, the movies, the TV shows, the video games, the toys, the ice cream. If I had a choice between being Spider-Man or world peace, well, discovering Spider-Man was life-changing. Obviously, like most people, the original trilogy was my introduction to him. Best Spider-Man, by the way. I could make a whole video on this trilogy alone, so I won't talk about it too much. But this scene changed everything. Had me trying to climb up walls, web swing, even trying to find the most colorful spiders to bite me. Not a good idea, by the way, but low-key was worth it. Web swinging alone would have been enough for me. Cause I mean, look at it. Look how stylish it is. Like, he definitely has the exaggerated swagger of a black team. I don't know what I would have used web swinging for back then, but now you would never catch me riding the dirty New York MTA. And then sticking to walls, again, don't know how I would have used it back then, but now, shit, just made breaking into my girl's house even easier. Something I always wondered about the sticky hands though was, can you turn it off? Like, how does he eat burgers or chicken? Like, if Peter was wiping after taking a dump, would the paper be stuck to his hand? Would he have to use baby wipes? What if Peter was jerking? The most realistic ability Peter has though, that I could use in the real world, is definitely his Spidey sense. You can sense when something bad's about to happen. That's so useful. Maybe my parents could have used it to sense my birth. Although it would suck though if it was like little irrelevant bad stuff, like a puddle or some dude's getting robbed around the corner. Like, that got nothing to do with me. And it's kind of implied in No Way Home that Peter can also sense intent or negative emotion, so he's pretty much an empath. Also gotta mention Black Spider-Man, not Miles though. I mean, like Venom. I like Miles too though, his movie was really good. Peter in the Venom suit is pretty much Spider-Man, just cooler. I didn't even know that was possible. He's just completely ruthless when he has the suit on. I don't want to talk about it too much, like I said, but just know he's so cool. And that's the thing about Spider-Man, there's infinite Spider-Man. 2099 Spider-Man, Vampire Spider-Man from the future, Miles Morales, a Spider-Man for the culture, Spider-Ham, Spider-Man, but he's haram to eat. And there's way more, even Doc Ock's fat ass was Spider-Man at some point. That's another thing too, Spider-Man doesn't have any goofy villains. Green Goblin, goated, Venom, goated, Sandman, goated, Electro, goated, and the list goes on and on. Those are only Peter's villains too. That's not including the Prowler, the Spot, and I don't know any more Miles villains. Spider-Man is really the best superhero ever. The best hero ever. The level of influence he has in the world is unrivaled. I think the reason people love him the most is not just because he has all these powers, but because of who he is behind the mask. Whether it be Peter Parker, Miles Morales, or Miguel O'Hara, they're all just regular people like us. Well, not really Miguel. He's like Mexican. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Point is, they're all regular people who are great with or without the suit. And I would say we could be as great as them, but I'd just be lying because we don't have powers. But we can try. And moral of the story,
Spider-Man.
He's black?
Break, now we need a break. Try to run away, try to get away, so I could be safe.